Hello, everyone. Eric Watson here. Welcome to Chat for the Lost Plane, our weekly live-streamed post-session discussion, where we talk about what the hell just happened during D&D. This is the chat for session 7, so if you have not watched that session yet, please go do that now, because there will be spoilers. DM Chris is here.
Hello.
Player Raymond.
Hello.
We have had another combat-less session, I believe, 2 in a row.
Yes, yes indeed.
Overland travel. I have a lot of questions about your overland travel system.
For sure. Shoot.
How did you approach making these encounters? I noticed you tried to have something going on like every day, but a lot of times it wasn't necessarily like none of them were combat related, and I think only one of them, or at least that I'm aware of, one of them could have been like a trap type situation with the flowers.
Yeah. Honestly, that one wasn't even. It's world building. It's flavor.
Just something for them to do. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, the only way you guys could have like really been in trouble is if you had all failed the save.
Yeah.
And just a bunch of passed out people in a field. Then I could have done something to you. You would have woken up with like your arm having been gnawed on by a wild animal or something.
Oh boy.
But I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought like one of you may fail, or a few of you may fail, and the other ones would have to wake the other ones up or carry them, or I thought something like that was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
That nobody failed it. It was just like, okay, well, no big deal. Feog's asleep. That's it. But like the first day, you see some animals in the woods. That's just descriptions. That's not even. It's barely even like
Yeah.
And I didn't intend for that to take up much time either. I took up a little bit more time because you guys kind of engaged with some of the stuff a little bit more than I thought you were going to.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the stuff I thought I was just going to read it and that was going to be it. But yeah,
Have
most
fun
of it
with everything that we can, I think.
Right, exactly. Most of it was just a series of descriptions of what you encountered during that day.
Yeah. I like that you
That's
did
it.
find a way to get by the hut with putting us just in really cramped quarters.
Yeah. Which I didn't even really want to do anything there anyway.
I noticed that, yeah. You actually
Yeah.
didn't do anything.
It's because I wanted you guys to talk to Irathon.
Yeah.
I didn't want that to be like a surprise. Oh, they find you in the night.
Mm-hmm.
Which now that you guys are in it, I suppose I can just straight up tell you that the creatures you saw flying 2 days ago are the creatures that are now on you.
Okay.
If somebody had done a really good perception check, you might have been able to like identify these demons or see how many of them there actually were, that kind of thing.
Was there any way that we were supposed to interact with them, or no?
You couldn't have. They were about 300 feet in the sky at that point, just flying around.
Okay.
So, I don't know if you guys have anything that's 300 feet in range.
I mean, I don't know what everybody's capable of at this point. Everybody's got such crazy like spells and abilities.
Yeah.
I don't know if we even think of half the stuff we can do.
Right. That's a good point. I don't know. But yeah, 300. That's what I was thinking anyway. They're like 300 feet away. That's far enough to like not be able to see them very clearly.
Yeah.
And
I'm out of there.
Yep. But yeah, so the first day was the forest. That's just a description. Second day was the fields and the flowers. That was just sort of the description with a skill check, just for fun.
I think that was a cool idea, though, to like have some interactivity instead of just like describing something that's happening. It's like, all right, let's let the players.
Yeah, I sometimes
something.
I feel like a skill check doesn't have to necessarily be like if you fail this, you take damage. It could just be hey, maybe you try to stop somebody from falling over, but you fail and nothing bad happens. You don't succeed.
Try again.
Yeah. Third day was earthquakes, and that was
good world building, though. I like that
you called that out. I like foreshadowing.
I couldn't help it. I was like, that's great. Here's
a giant desert in the middle of the map.
I love it.
Listen, it would be shitty to never let you go in it.
I thought that was really fun, though. Have this like powerful threat you're not sure of, and then as long as we stay out of this region,
that's right.
It's Chekhov's desert now.
That's right. I kind of wanted to impart a sense of like the size and danger of the thing. Like, hey, yeah, it was given a 300-mile desert to just. That's the only thing in it. It's just it roams around in this desert.
Yeah.
Day 4 was crossing the water. That was you guys seeing the pack of flying creatures.
Boy, every time we entered a new biome, I was like, okay, maybe this is where he's going to spring something on us. Okay, maybe this is where he's going to spring something on us.
Yeah.
But then I did. Yep. I mean, I do remember you stating that you didn't want to just throw encounters at the party just for the sake of having encounters. I do recall that you wanted them to be more meaningful, especially if the fact that we are getting like long rests all the time with overland travel. Sure. That always makes encounters weird.
Yep. Yeah. I don't exactly. Yes, I do. I do too know what I was going to do. I just really didn't want you guys to do it. I had a plan for what. So you got day 5 is entering the One Wood.
Yeah.
I had a plan for if you guys just go shit up on that. Like.
They'll start tearing down the woods.
Yeah. If you guys go actively hostile. I had a plan, but the problem is you guys didn't even consider the actively hostile thing until you were like a day in to hiking through this forest.
Yeah. I'm
like, oh God, if they do it now, they're never getting out of here. They got like a days of hiking back the way they came.
I feel like I never pictured Kaylin as having like the mom energy of the group at all. But I feel like I had to be the one to like lead everybody because that was the ranger thing, and I was like, I gotta take up the mantle and do this. It wasn't a role that I necessarily envisioned him playing, and necessarily even wanted to play. Like I wanted him to be the just nose the grindstone demon hunter,
right?
And everybody else kind of got to play off that by being a little more loosey goosey and like, let's rip that. I'm like, no, don't do that.
Don't do that. Yeah.
Like suddenly I'm the dead mother of the group now. Like, all right, everybody, let's get through this.
You're just the more serious one. Like you see a threat and you're taking it seriously.
Yeah.
Whereas Tim was like, I'm gonna yell at it. Okay, sure. But yeah, I like. Tried to look up before, like, what can the ranger do in the wilderness? And the natural explorer was like, okay, he should be able to like find alternate paths, so they're not having to like make the choice of like, do I cut this vine or do we just turn around and leave?
Yeah, there was a little bit of experimenting going on, but it's pretty obvious that like, okay, if we do anything, this thing is going to turn hostile.
Yeah.
Jason, I have not decided the next campaign yet. I will probably. This month I will probably put out a video going through the narrowed choices that I've gotten down to and then decide from there, and ideally start up start up my weekly crafting sessions for that campaign, because I would like to get ahead of it, which would be fun, but I don't want to do too, and I talked about this during Monday Update, Chris, I don't want to get too ahead of it to where I've got like 8 or 9 of them
nothing
before.
to do.
Yeah. And because I add them to the playlist, so I'm just picturing if somebody's going through the playlist, they just see like 8 episodes of just me talking about the campaign until it actually starts.
We've definitely got more than 8 weeks left of this. So
right. I mean, I wouldn't start crafting until November at the earliest, but
oh yeah.
I want to be cognizant about when do I actually want to start that process. So.
Yep. You might be able to like slow them down at that point, like start doing one every other week.
That's what somebody in the Discord was saying. Yeah, like just
if you got lots of time on your hands. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll say Descent into Averse is definitely not on that list. I was not actually a fan of that campaign and did not have good maps in Roll20. In terms of what I write, you can go to roguewatson.com to see my portfolio. I mostly write about video games and board games and some tech stuff. So you said you had a plan for the woods to actually like attack us or seal itself up or something?
If you guys had attacked it, you can suspect what might have happened.
Mm-hmm.
You were warned.
Yeah, I feel like you telegraphed that pretty well in terms of giving warnings without like, all right, roll initiative, we're doing this.
Yeah,
which I appreciate.
We got to start starting on time, or
yeah.
I maybe you guys also took we like I said, you guys kind of
we were ready
with the travel stuff.
We were ready tonight. It's just it's these fucking roll 20 problems
issues.
are killing us, man. Like we were all ready to go.
Between that and the fact that you guys kind of did engage with the travel stuff a little bit more than I thought. You like a little bit more time than I thought.
Yeah.
Because at one point I was kind of worried that this was just going to be me reading. Just read. Okay, day 1, you do this. Day 2, you do this. Day 3, that kind of thing. But because of that, I was really kind of bummed we didn't get to finish this fight or start the fight even.
Yeah.
Just because in my mind, the travel from Verdant Spire to Marin's Grove, including this fight,
was a session.
Should have been one session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now you know all your plans of sessions are going to be a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it was fun, all the stuff we were engaging with, and
for sure, yeah,
that
definitely
was enjoyable. I think you made the right call stopping it before combat started, because that was going to be too late to try to start anything. Even if it ended up being a little bit.
Yeah. We would have done maybe one round, and then I would have had to call it. So yeah.
And we did level up at the beginning, which takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, that takes a little bit of time for sure. Yeah. But day 6, you guys meet Irathon, which I don't know if any of you actually remembered or checked your quest, but Irathon, because some of you were like, "Who are you? Are you Marin?" But Irathon is in your quest log as the leader of the demons.
That was a demon, and Ramael was the celestial.
Yeah.
I was not sure how to play this because this was a good example of like how much do I want to role play my character versus not ruining things for the group. By which I mean my character would have almost immediately opened fire and started combat. And notice how I basically clammed up, and I was like, all right, I'm going to use my hunter sense. I'm going to like role play that I'm like studying and not pull the trigger and let other people converse, because I don't think Kalen would want to talk to demons. I think he's probably learned his lesson about talking with them.
No, not even conversing. Yeah,
if he can, unless he's got, especially if he doesn't have like the upper hand on, doesn't have them on their knees before him or something.
Yep.
So I actually clammed up purposefully to be like, all right, I need to roleplay like he's like studying the situation. And
I actually felt like you roleplayed it really well, because it was like you were quiet, but then you like whispered to them, like, don't listen to her, so that kind of worked, I think.
Yeah.
And there was like a 98% chance in my head you guys weren't going to actually like go like, oh yeah, we'll help you.
Right.
I didn't think that was going to happen, but she was there to offer. So yeah.
If anyone's wondering, I did not know who Irathon was.
Okay, you didn't check the quest log.
I didn't check the quest log.
That's right.
I figured she was an ally of Marina, so I thought I'm gonna be a chef and doing really well. She would lead us straight to her.
Instead, Irathon, the leader of the demon army, is convinced that they summoned a chef for some reason. That is what we're at right now. She thinks that,
but still wants to kill us.
Yeah,
because we're really good chefs.
Yeah, well, she doesn't think you're a chef. She thinks he's a chef.
Oh yeah, right. Gettler's the chef. We're just the assistants or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yep.
The bodyguards.
You're the water boy, Kalen.
Yeah. That was fun.
Water.
You got a little bit more plot out of her in that she explains exactly what she wants out of this place.
Yeah.
Which you guys seem to react to pretty viscerally, so I was like, okay, that's more of a distinctive, like, oh, here's the bad guy goal. Here's something we can stop.
Right, and that's Scarlett always wants to talk with people, and I was surprised even with the demon. She was like willing to talk with the demon at first. I was like, okay, we'll see where this goes. And then as soon as the demon was like, no, we're gonna use this to like teleport our people out of hell, she's like, oh, that's not cool.
Sorry, I'm not gonna.
I'm drawing the line there.
Yep.
I don't know if we got a clear picture of how she plans on doing that.
You didn't, yeah.
Okay, keeping that.
Yeah, just that she said that this place itself, this plane of existence,
like a nexus of.
It's like thin here. You can move things to and from it easier.
Okay. Yeah, that's a neat backdrop. I recognized most of these creatures, I think. At least the big ones from the player's handbook. I did not. Irathon was cool looking. I didn't.
She is a creature from Pathfinder. I don't think she exists in.
Nice.
Oh, which I'll give you one peek behind the DM screen. I didn't know how to make the call on your hunter sense, but I don't know what Irathon's resistance's vulnerability.
Oh no.
I don't know the answer to those questions.
She's not actually exist as a stat block.
Yeah. I know what she's capable of in general, but she does not have a stat block yet, so
Gotcha.
there was nothing to be read.
Well, I mean, the funny thing is, you absolutely played it off where it's like, I was like, okay, it's like a magical projection, and I can't sense that, and that's fine. I accepted that.
Yeah, for sure.
I forget that I have the one Raymond used all the time in Storm Kings, where you can send out your awareness.
That's something you could have done whenever you saw the.
Yeah,
the
I didn't think about it. And
overhead.
that's a thing where I've got so many abilities that I just forget about that one because I haven't had to use it yet. We've just been in that dungeon fighting.
Yep.
But I can sense. I think specifically, my greater or my favorite enemies to like a certain mile radius.
Right.
But yeah, I don't remember what.
It's like 500 miles, I think.
It's they might have changed it since then. 500 miles is nuts. I think it's. Let's see. Spending one uninterrupted minute in concentration, you can sense whether any of your favorite enemies are present within 5 miles of you. It reveals which of your favorite enemies are present, their numbers, and the creature's general distance and direction from you. So it actually gives you some decent stats about it. But yeah, that just would have told me that they were demons, basically.
Yep.
It does take a minute though, so I don't know if it's viable in like even a social situation, unless it's a long one.
Right. It wouldn't have been viable when you were talking to Irathon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Time to build a stat block. Yep. Multi-class, I am a Ranger Warlock. I took more Warlock level this time, which that was something I actually asked in the Discord chat about what I should do, because I still wasn't actually sure about theory crafting this character. I think I'll just raise both of them kind of together. I think the general idea is you always want to try to hit those ASI levels to get your maximum ability score increases. So you always want to, I think in general, try to take your multi-classes in divisible by 4, whatever it is. So 16 and 4, 12 and 8, whatever. So I think my goal is to go 12 Ranger, 8 Warlock. Because the Warlock stuff's way more exciting to me. Warlock's just one of my favorite classes. It's more interesting,
yeah.
Yeah, Ranger spells are bad. I mean, and the abilities are dumb. It's like you can dash as a bonus action or something. It's just like nothing that I would particularly use very often. Versus all the Warlock's nifty like invocations and spells and things.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
But Monster Slayer still has some decent stuff. That's the plan with that. But yeah, so what was the plan with the forest then? Did you just know going into it that I had that ability to just kind of supersede that, or did you have a plan for like checks or something to get through it?
Yeah, no, I probably would have asked you guys for survival checks if you did. Okay. If I did, I knew you had it, but if I had seen that you guys had no way of like really figuring that out,
yeah,
I would have had you. It would have been survival checks, and I probably would have had you do a couple dex checks to just avoid stepping on vines, or maybe perception checks to see them while you're traveling, so you don't bump into anything.
Well, that's interesting that you had this designed and then allowed me to, as just not any skill checks whatsoever, just make it out of there. Well, I guess we're not technically out of it yet, but
right, yeah.
As like because you're a ranger, you can.
Yeah, exactly, and that's I didn't mind it. That wasn't going to be. Once again, I didn't want you guys to like get into a fight with the forest.
Right. Even though
that was
some of us tried our damnedest.
Yeah. So it didn't bother me too much that you had a way out of a lot of that sort of like, oh, maybe they do, maybe they're going to accidentally anger the forest. The fact that you had a way out of that didn't bother me at all, because I didn't. In my like optimal, it's how you got to always DM. You got your optimal path, knowing that's not necessarily gonna happen. The player's gonna do this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but you guys are still in it. You guys aren't out of it yet.
That's true, and I'm wondering how much this forest is going to play into this combat encounter. I guess it would be spoilery to talk about that. I know. Well, I was right at one point. I thought about it. I was like, I'm still going to do it, but like when I shoot my crossbows, they go through her and probably hit like the fucking forest.
I actually didn't even think about
that. I know. I was like,
yeah.
I don't even know what to tell him that, but that's something that Kalen doesn't care. He would just be shooting the demons.
Yep. Well, I'll say this: she was floating 10 feet off the air, so if you aimed up at her, you probably sailed.
All right. At least it hit the forest like probably, a little bit further away. Yeah. That's impressive though. I appreciate what Sean was talking about, the hand wave and the skill check if somebody's actually skilled in that.
Right.
What's the deal with the forest? Don't touch the forest. Don't yell at the forest. What if somebody had speak with plants? Because I think I guess it was Theron had that, didn't he? With the as a druid.
I don't know. I hadn't thought about that. And since you guys didn't have a druid, I didn't have to think about it. But if you guys had something,
it's almost a spell for everything. We just question is, do we have it or not?
You might have been able to. I mean, I think that spell specifically like gives plants enough sentience to talk to you.
I guess
because plants normally don't.
Right. Yeah, it would have to.
Yeah. Yeah. So. That's as far as I know, the deal with the forest is that if it thinks you're an enemy, it attacks.
Which that could be a really interesting environment. One thing that makes a lot of combat encounters more interesting is introducing some kind of environmental hazard. You know, you put any combat situation, you just put a river of lava in the middle of people, like suddenly you've got a real dynamic thing going on.
Right. Yep.
God, I'll never forget in Tomb, spoilers for Tomb, that acid pit that you all avoided very well and set the trap off and everything, and then Theron had that whip and it was just pulling creatures into that acid pit and using that completely to your advantage.
He put like a vine whip. It was like some spell or something.
I think it was vine whip, which can just grapple people if it's successful, and he was just nailing those skeletons and just dragging them all into the acid pit. I was like, wow. Or cliffs, like any kind of environmental thing, traps nearby, like. I feel like players always have a fun job of working the environment, and that's a big advantage with something like playing on a virtual tabletop because you have that visualization. You can see, like, okay, there's a trap right here, there's a cliff here, there's a pit here. Like, I can maneuver around and shove people and see all that happening.
Yeah, because it gives you ideas of how to use the environment a little bit more than, like, you know, like, I think they might be close to the pit, you tell me? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think what else happened. I think that's about it. I'm reading the dialogue. I didn't have a lot of dialogue prepared for her because to some degree I knew you guys were gonna not like what she had to say.
Yeah, you know it was gonna be a blowing up into a combat encounter at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Those are always fun. I like when you get a chance to have those, which I think that projection is pretty much the only way you can get away with that in D&D.
Oh yeah, I mean,
at least once you're beyond a certain level, you know, it's hard to escape.
I learned my lesson basically from you in Storm Kings. Like don't, or no, was it? Yeah, it was in Storm Kings. Don't put your big bad in the room with the players unless you actually want the players to go fight them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they will try. they will try. Which that's not actually my fault. I believe that is written in Storm Kings. The whole Harshnag fighting her,
and your player's supposed to run away.
Yeah. I think that's in the book, if I remember correctly.
It's hard to write scripted content for players that are not part of the script.
Yep. So you use stuff like, the vision. In Storm Kings, I did that statue that Iamrith possessed and talked to you guys in a tunnel.
Yep, I remember that one.
That's how you do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because unless you got a big bad that can literally an instant teleport away if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Which I suppose a lot of enemies can do that. the Serac if you want, like
Yeah.
if you could just like peace out anytime you wanted to.
Yep. I think Zegmira did that. She just teleported away,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
high-level spellcasters can pretty much all have some kind of teleport spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the pacing so far. I think it was. I didn't expect to do a hex crawl, but I thought that you played it right, which was I guess it was from 2 weeks ago. But you guys can choose your path, or you chose this path. Here's the stuff that's happening, but it's basically just describing stuff that's happening.
Yeah, yeah.
We're not transitioning to a map.
I'm not gamifying it.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, now you guys use a ration, or now you guys have an encounter. It's not
right, yeah.
It's not gamified. It's just story.
Yeah, which at that point I think it's not a hex crawl. It's just you're just traveling and reading things that are happening.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm down with that.
I remember having to do some of that in Storm Kings, where it's like, Storm Kings had a lot more travel with a lot more time to it. But sometimes you'd be like, okay, they're literally going to travel for a week, and I don't have anything even written down for what happens in that week. So I got to jot down, like, they see something in the distance one day, or they meet some people on the road. You got to just write something instead of just saying you travel for a full day and see absolutely nothing, and then you rest for the night.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I think I probably got away with a couple of those in Tomb just because there was so much hex crawling that, like...
Well, here's the thing. I think with you and with me both, you burn out at some point.
Yeah.
At some point, you start out strong.
I've done all the world building I can do.
Yeah. They're going to encounter something every day.
And what you do is you make okay, you travel for 2 days. On the third day, here's what happens. Yep. And that's how you skip all those days around.
You see, those gaps start getting longer and longer.
Yeah. The less patience I have with this is how much you guys can suddenly travel a lot more efficiently.
Mm. But yeah, I'm excited to see how you guys handle this particular fight, close quarters in a hostile forest surrounded by demons.
Yeah, might have to use a couple. Which, I mean, we're all fully rested, so we should be able to blow off some spells. But I'm definitely excited to fight some demons.
Yeah.
Try to use that fear spell, which I looked it up before I took it. I was like, all right, I don't want to metagame too much, but Kalen hunts demons, and he needs to be able to use spells that would be good against demons. So I just made a cursory glance and like, are a bunch of demons immune to fear? Oh, not necessarily. Okay.
Yeah.
The fireball thing is weird that he's got fireball, but I mean, it just kind of, let's just say it comes with the territory of...
Yeah, it comes with the demon territory.
It comes with being a demon.
Tiefling, yep.
Well, it comes with his being a warlock pact, I guess.
Oh, right.
The
pact
fiend.
Itself.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool. I look forward to that. All right, I think that will do it for this week's chat. For the last playing. Thank you to DM Chris, player Raymond. I am Eric. Thank you to all the fans for watching, and we will see you all next week.
Time.